In Delaware County, online threats were made against several students at the Walton and Sidney school districts. Police from several departments began investigating the source of the threats on Wednesday, leading to an arrest on Thursday. 12 News' Kyle Spisak has the latest details on the case.
The Village of Sidney Police Department charged a 14-year-old female for making terroristic threats on Thursday night. Additionally, she was charged with aggravated harassment after threatening several students at the Walton and Sidney school districts. The subject in question was issued a juvenile appearance ticket to the Delaware County Probation Department. They will be working with Delaware County Family Courts to determine further punishment. These threats come just days after concerns over a threat of a weapon at a nearby football game. Those threats were later found to be unwarranted. Many parents have gone to Facebook to comment about considering homeschooling their children in response to the threats made against students at the school. Despite the panic caused by the threat, some parents are applauding Sidney Central School District and first responders for their handling of the situation.
Making sure that the situation was handled appropriately, regardless if they felt it was a credible threat or not. I hope we don't have to deal with this again. But from the administration, the Sidney Police Department, the state police, I think under the circumstances, they handled things extremely professional. Under the circumstances, made us all felt safe.
Threats have also been seen popping up in other districts throughout the southern tier, with Elmira High School reporting facing threats online in the past week. Threats against schools on social media are on the rise, and according to the Associated Press, public pressure continues to mount against elected officials to find a solution. I'm Kyle Spisak, 12 News, Delaware County.